Hi everyone, welcome to Value. So today we're looking into Virgin Galactic. It's been a while since I've talked about any stocks lately because the market's just been terribly unpredictable. But if you got into the stock of Virgin Galactic when it was at its lows last month at $1.38, you'd be very, very happy right now because the stock has just been zooming up basically the last couple of weeks from the low of $1.38 to about $2.19 right now. So why is the market all of a sudden quite interested in the stock, or at least quite optimistic that the share price is recovering? Firstly, everyone kind of predicted Virgin Galactic's just going to continue to burn a lot of money until their new spaceship's ready. And that's the truth. Right now, all the flights that they're doing it at a huge loss because the revenue it doesn't even come close to covering their expenses. So basically, they're just losing money on every flight just to fulfill a promise that they made to a lot of people who bought tickets early. And now they decided actually we don't want to fly anymore. So they're stopping in mid 2024, and they're going to focus on new spaceships, and that's probably a right decision. It was important for them to fly, of course, because it proves, firstly, that they can fly. Now that they prove that they can fly, now they can actually just focus on upping the tech. And the new spaceships are going to be able to fly once every week, which is going to be significantly better than once every month. And I think they kind of see that kind of being the way to go. So why waste resources, right? All right, so the market cap is $875 million. And if we go to the last update that they posted, and for the third quarter, you'll see that these guys were holding about $1.1 billion. So definitely have a lot of money in cash compared to their market value, hence why the stock's going upwards. And also, I think it's just the market, how they were feeling about the company, that it was just losing a lot of money. Eventually, they would have to raise more money. But now that the company signaled that they're going to stop flights in the middle of next year, and that they're going to conserve money all the way to the new spaceships are coming along, then all of a sudden the market's quite optimistic about what's happening in the future. And then, people are actually quite happy to buy the stock now because there's no imminent capital raise, especially, well, at least we don't know for now anyway. So in terms of the company, revenue was $1.7 million. So you can see the big difference: 1.7 million in revenue for the quarter, while expenses were $102 million. So if you look at that, 102 million, that, and they've already been flying people for quite a few months already. So actually, yeah, I think they're actually getting onto their sixth flight. So that's the thing; they're not really generating anywhere enough revenue to cover their expenses. So they need those new spaceships, and that's why they're going to focus on that. In terms of the business update, as I say, Galactic Flight number 6 is planned for January 2024, and then their spaceship in Phoenix, Arizona is on track to open in mid 2024 when they stop their flights. So there's going to be a heavy focus on getting those new spaceships coming along. Production schedule for Delta class spaceships, which is the new ones, are on track for revenue service in 2026. So that's a big kicker, that it's going to be 3 years later before you actually see the actual spaceships. So as an investor, you're kind of just sort of on a limbo. So then you just have to wonder if that's a stock that you're going to take the ride with, because they're back at it again in terms of research and development, and we don't know if there's going to be more delays because their schedule of 2026, anything could happen between now and 2026 in terms of the development. Um, of course, the stock price is quite low already, so you may be looking at it and thinking that it's a stock that you're keen to get out of it one day, but the stock price is too low, so you're just holding, and it's fair as well. But if I think if you make the decision that you're going to hold, it's going to be a decision that you might have to wait 2026 or close to that time for the stock to be going that much higher. Like right, it could continue this really nice run from $1.38 to $2.19, and it could go back to its um, $3 mark, which it was trading at just a few months ago. Yeah, which wouldn't be odd because there's value in the company. It just fails to recognize that value because it can't generate that revenue with all the money and time and research and development that's gone into everything. That's sort of the frustrating part about these type of companies, that they're not doing enough, or they can't get to that point where they're generating enough revenue to make things work. And that's the risky side of investing in these type of companies, of course. So yeah, that's what I really have to say. Like, I think, their decision to just buckle down, conserve resources, focus on new spaceships is probably the right decision, even though it's not the decision that people want to see right now. Everyone wants to just see this company fly more people into space and generate a huge amount of revenue to make it worth it, and for the stock to do really well. The thing is, they can't generate the large amount of revenue, so they're in a position where they have to go, what do we do? And the decision is to stop flights and focus on new spaceships, because that's where the future of the company lies. And they can't just keep burning money for the sake of it, because especially in this environment, it's hard to raise money. And given their past history, it might be even harder for them to raise money. And given the market valuation is already quite low, they can't risk having to raise more money as well. So I think, in terms of resources, in terms of the most logical decision, it's probably that. Let me know what you think of the decision. Do you think they should just continue to fly people, or is that decision right, that they should just stop, conserve resources, and focus on new spaceships? Yeah, we'll see what updates are going to come later on in the future. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.